permission, right?
What?
He has to just give a verbal permission, or do you have to bring any written thing?
No, just have him come here. I don't know
Oh,
what
he-
to do. I'm not in charge. This is a private event I'm hosting.
Oh, okay. All right,
I
I'll
don't know
go
what
talk
to
to
do.
him.
I'm sorry.
No, I'll go and talk to him.
Yes.
And I'm asking like whether he has to accompany me here or.
Let's go. I'll
Yeah.
go with you.
No, the
I
reason.
don't know what to do. It's not my
Sure.
permission. I don't know if I can let you go through the house. If that is what is normally done. I
Yeah.
have no clue.
The reason is the gentleman I talked to, Shelby, was there, and he said like walk through the timeline, then go walk to the house. So
Right.
I thought like there'll be somebody here who kind of help me out, but that's fine. Like since you're accompanying me, we'll know what to do.
Well, I do not know. It's not my territory. I just don't want to, I don't know if they let people go by themselves through the house.
Understand. Oh, it's me again.
Come on in.
The lady says,
Oh, hi there. You look
I
great.
need
love a
permission of
costume.
Shelby to walk through the house.
I'll help you.
Okay. All right. You're going to help me.
Yes.
Come in now. I love the costume.
I want to thank you. Nice to see you.
Looks,
I didn't know if you let people walk by themselves through the house.
no.
Oh, I know. Okay. So that's what I was kind of when we were Shelby was here, right?
Right.
So I was thinking like I walk through the timeline, just go to the house
Uh-huh.
and walk myself, but
Yeah. But you're in the house now, right?
Yeah.
So the house is unlocked.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
I just didn't, I don't know what
yeah, just continuation of our conversation
Yes, sir.
from the before. Like I saw like James Monroe one more time in a reference when there was a revolt, a slave revolt in Virginia,
Yes.
where they tried to occupy the state house with I forgot the name of the gentleman who was kind of thinking himself as George Washington liberation
Right,
thing,
right.
and he was hanged over there in the slave
That's on the
cemetery
north
and all
side
that. So.
of Richmond. It's now a public park.
So yeah, like a Brian Park is.
Yes.
So I was wondering, like James Monroe was the governor during that time, correct?
Right.
So he got the somebody leaked him that there was going to be a revolt, and he captured everybody and they hanged them. So
Right.
what are his thoughts on that? I mean, the thing is like.
Yes. Have you ever been president of an organization? Have you ever been chairman of an organization?
No.
So I can sit in the east presiding over the meeting.
Uh-huh.
There is a motion to spend $25 to donate to the Children's Fund. Is there a discussion? Yeah, I don't think we should do 25, we
Yeah.
should do 50. No, I don't think we should do anything at all. Back and forth. End of discussion, let's have a vote. All those in favor of giving $25, raise your hand.
Nobody.
All those in favor of not giving them anything, raise your hand. I wanted to give them 25 bucks. For the sake of 20 minutes discussion, done. We're not doing it, okay? Well, I'll table this motion. I'm assigning you a committee to run this.
Sure.
Report back to us next month.
Okay.
That's the politics of
That's
trying to run an
I
organization.
understand.
It's not my decision. If it was up
I
to me,
know.
I just railroad the whole
I mean,
thing.
he was the governor, right? So he has to follow the law.
No, I can't make him do stuff.
Yeah. Because like I hiked the whole
Wow. Oh, wow. I can talk about the house. This is the lady to talk to about all this.
Huh.
You're here for a special day, okay?
All
You are
right.
truly blessed.
Oh, thank you.
Share with him your beautiful work.
Oh,
I'm so
I'm a
impressed.
quilter, and I'm here to wait on some ladies from the Daughters of the American Revolution
Uh-huh.
Museum in Washington, D.C. It's a chapter. And Lenny and James Monroe birthplace here have invited me to show some of my quilts, so I came over with some of my quilts. You know quilting?
Let me tell you, I visited the hall in Washington D.C. right next to the White House, the Daughters of Revolution.
Yes.
That it's a beautiful place.
Yes, it is. And they do have.
And they have graduations there and everything, and it's a beautiful, beautiful hall.
Yes.
Even from outside and from inside as well.
Yes, inside out. And they do have a large quilt collection too.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of history in that building as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I am just here with the quilts that I do. They do fit into that time period.
Mm-hmm.
So I have brought some of my quilts, and this is just I'm waiting on these ladies. So these are some of the quilts.
And your ancestors participated in the Revolutionary War? Your ancestors?
No, I have nothing. No, I am European.
Oh, you're European, so none of your relatives or ancestors fought in the Revolutionary
I'm
War?
European. I'm from the old world. But I have adapted to this country rather fast in my
Are you from
in my
England?
teens.
Are you from England? Which part of Europe are you from?
I'm German Belgium.
German, okay. No accent. You sound like an English lady.
No, I do not. It's very nice of you to say, but I know better than that.
Oh yeah. No, the reason is like I know how Germans speak English.
Yeah.
I don't see that accent.
Oh yes.
So-
yes, because my first language is Flemish, which is like Dutch.
Oh, Dutch, okay.
So it's a little softer. Yes. It's
So you're from Netherlands, then like Belgium. And,
Belgium, yes.
I've been to England last year, so you just sounded like that. I met an English woman, so
Yes. Oh well. Well, thank you very much.
So which of these is classical for colonial times? All of these?
I think probably I don't know. They were all done between 1820 and 1850. Most of these, the way they are. I think the color palette of an earlier time was probably more like this, where they use chintzes and stuff in their quilts. But then later on, kind of like as color became more available.
I didn't get the name.
My name is Rita.
Rita.
Monroe,
I'm
yes.
Pavan.
Pavan.
I heard about quilts, right? Like a family maintains a quilt to have the history of the family. Is that still the tradition in some countries, or the kind of no more?
No, I think the history of quilting started by American settlers coming here, having just the cloth that they wore with them. So it took quite a while for the first settlers to go ahead and developed how to make cloth, and it's called homespun. So they used to make bed coverings from anything that was still usable, whether it was a coat, a dress, a piece of a shirt, and they put that together so it can cover themselves with. And they're utilitarian quilts, just randomly patches together.
And most of them made from cotton.
Cotton, whatever it was. Silk,
Okay. Oh,
wool,
silk. Oh, okay.
anything. The first quilts.
Uh-huh.
And then later on, as Americans had more, they would go ahead and put them together in a pattern. These are all patterns. These are called, they have names, and we have now in American history 5,400 patterns that women, because women don't just like to be practical, they like it to be beautiful.
Yeah.
So, and then later on, as they had more fabric, they went ahead and this is pieced. So this is like put together like this. When they had more fabric, they were able there to go ahead and apply one layer to the next. It's called applique. And that is then, kind of was a sense of wealth, and then they developed color. So when you look at a quilt these days, you can tell what period it was made in American history. So it has a timeline of its own, and it correlates with what was going on in the country. So the quilts from the Civil War, it's a different coloration.
Yeah. Like the quilts I'm aware of, I'm born in India.
Yeah.
I migrated here like 33 years ago. In India, what they should, the people wear saris, correct? Like when the saris tore down, they put all the saris together and they stitch them into things, so therefore they can cover themselves during winter time,
Right.
so they gain warmth.
Right, same principle, really.
So, but they don't put so much decoration to it. They are kind of practical use where they stuff two layers with a lot of things, so therefore they can be warmer. Instead of like throwing the cloth away, they kind of put together and just
Here
do it.
too.
So it's
The same thing, same principle. The first ones, what was in between was straw.
Uh-huh.
And then later on, leftover cottons, whatever they had. And then it was cotton batting with the seeds in it.
Uh-huh.
And then it became carded, became cleaner. So it has developed over time, and now it's the way what we understand, what Americans understand under quilt is something that American women invented.
Uh-huh.
So it's very, very typical of American, it's an invention of American women. And now it has taken a hold of the whole world, likes to quilt. But it's the same principle. It's like, just making use of every bit you can make use of.
Sure.
It wasn't a throwaway this society then.
No, when I first saw this, when you showed me this, right? What came to my mind is in recent discoveries in Pompeii, when they where the volcanic happened, when they cleaned up everything, the mosaics were like that.
Yes.
They put the small pieces and have elaborate decorating based on how rich they are.
Yes.
So sometimes they're so beautiful with colors, like stone pieces put together and all that.
Yeah.
So this is almost like similar thing came to mind, saying it's putting different pieces together and
Right.
making beautiful.
Well, nothing in this world, I think, is new.
Uh-huh.
So some of these patterns were adopted, and they all have names in
Uh-huh.
American history.
Uh-huh.
So this one is called the Mariner's Compass.
Uh-huh.
And they all have names. All these patterns have names. This is Pennsylvania Dutch. So different regions in America, they had their own colors, their own heritage.
Mm-hmm.
So as they came over here into this country, they had painted chests, they had Frakturschriften, which were their birth certificates decorated, and they put that onto quilts. So there's a lot of history in American quilting.
Because once, I think in one of the museums I saw this huge quilt where they divide into small squares, and each one talks about a different part of American history where
Yes.
it comes all the way from inventions and everything. So even they used to tell the story sometimes.
Yeah. It's
I
an
guess.
art. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Depending what people the intention. Sometimes they had when people would go away from the old world, from the East Coast to the West Coast, they would have and traveled. They would go ahead and have their friends put a block together and sign something on it, and people would put it together. So in the New World, women would look at the blocks and remember the friend that they would never see again. So there's a lot of sentimental value to those as well.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
It's nice that I met you. So
This is a special occasion, trust me.
yeah.
Very special.
And what is this room used for, sir? This is the kind of a dining hall?
Okay, so I'll say, from the Monroe perspective, Spence Monroe built this house about a third bigger than the normal house would have been for a gentleman farmer. If you cut out the central hallway, if you cut off the end of the building, that would have been a typical house. You walk in, here's your main room, there's your dining room, and there's no back rooms. This is it. It's a sliver of a house. Upstairs you have raw beds. He built a house with extra large windows that would open front and back for cross ventilation in the summertime. He built the house with oversized fireplaces, not just two. There's 5 fireplaces in this house. That's a lot of fireplaces. The well-to-do don't have that many fireplaces. So the house was warm, the house was cool, the house was designed to make a statement. The woodworking is, the chair roll is such, that's all a step above what you normally would see.
Oh, yeah.
Because by profession, he makes furniture, he makes woodworking, so he made sure his home was as nice as possible for his wife. The Monroe family came from Maryland, from St. Mary's Parish area. His great-grandfather came here, sponsored other people. He got more land because he sponsored. You bring in folks who are indentured to you for 7 years, so they have their own place, but because you do that, you get more land. And we're looking at 550 acres of land under the Monroe family. But if his father Spence owned this property, his brother owned the one over there. His cousin was over there. His aunt married the person who is living on the next property that direction. So they weren't entertaining sea captains. They weren't entertaining big crowds of folks going through. It's Sunday afternoon, come at our house. This week we'll have you at our place. We'll serve some food. We'll socialize. This is for family get-togethers.
Yeah,
It's too small for a dance hall.
No,
it's
that's
too
what
small
I-
for a fancy reception. But getting your family together, this works out fine.
I think
And this
this
place-
is your event.
You coming?
Yeah.
Yay! So, anyway, this was the family get-together room. Across here.
Would you like to wait for them and do everybody at the same time?
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
I see the ladies coming now. This was the dining room.
Come on in.
Welcome, welcome.
Into your humble abode.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for coming today.
Are we late?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, how beautiful.
Are you came to see the house or the quilts?
Both.
Oh, okay.
This is Lenny, and he's
Lenny,
just starting a tour, so
Tour.
everybody's
Hi.
gonna fall in.
We're the ladies. We're supposed to be falling in.
Okay.
Yes,
From
he
the-
can, he's,
from the-
So
he's
where do you all
just,
come from?
Oh,
The DAR group that's
Daughters of the American Revolution.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
We all come from the
And
DC
Lee,
area?
did you
or-
know we're from Tappahannock area?
Tappahannock. Okay,
Where-
you're my
where-
neighbors. You're my neighbors.
Where do
Okay.
you live?
In Richmond County, Warsaw.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Come on in.
Come on in. Getting there.
We're saving the air conditioning.
Almost
he was just given a tour, so we can follow.
So at any rate, this is the home that Spence Monroe built. Spence was James Monroe's dad. Spence Monroe was a gentleman farmer, but he was also a carpenter and a cabinet maker and such. So like a lot of our neighbors who are farmers nowadays, you gotta have a job on the outside to pay the bills. Hasn't changed in 300 years. So Spence went to Fredericksburg with one of his indentured servants and learned the skills of making all the work. He comes back here and he is the cabinet maker, the furniture maker. If you need to fancy building in your house, he's the man to call. He builds this house roughly 1720, around 1730s. And as houses go at that time, this house is just like 1/3 bigger. We know there's still a house in Richmond County from that same era, gentleman farmer, and so we use that similar design. We know the location of the chimneys from archaeological digs. This is the location of the home. This is the size of the home. This is the design of the home. But this is not the actual building. During the post-Civil War era, this property was owned by a local church that decided, since the building was dilapidated, to take the bricks from the building and build a church across the street. So if you want to see, it's Northern Neck history. So if you want to see the building, the bricks are in that building across the way. Fortunately, some of our local judges decided during the 1880s, 1890s, to condemn properties for non-payment of taxes, to condemn property for not maintaining the property properly. And the county of Westmoreland reacquired this property, piece by
State
piece.
rule, or was that
Those are the judges sitting in Montrose that did
in
this.
Montrose?
A couple
Local.
of good old local
Good
Montrose
old boys,
judges who
good
said,
old boys,
this property should not be in those people's hands.
What,
And they found one way or another to get the property back.
what property in Richmond County did they use for the, you said they,
No,
So
he
there's a
looked
house
at
in
a prop-
Richmond County that
Looks like it.
looks very much like this in the same era. If you're going down Historyland Highway, it's on your right-hand side, just after you pass Oldham Road. It's a private home. So, you know, Historyland and Oldham
Yeah.
is that next little piece that goes off here where the church is, and it's over this direction. So it's, I can take you
it's
to the
over there
place.
near Beulah Church.
Yeah, exactly, Nebula Church.
Okay.
Exactly. So that house does date back to that time. I mean,
I
Wow.
wonder what house that is.
I'm a come here. I've only been here for about 25 years.
Aren't
now.
we all?
Yeah.
Well, no, this one is.
No, some of
this
us
one
some of us have
isn't.
been here for 6 generations, okay? And I respect that, I really do. You know, I mean, the funny thing is, as a representative of James Monroe, I've had the pleasure of attending DAR, SAR meetings in Richmond County, out in Kilmarnock. I've been up to Tappahannock before, and I really have a lot of respect for what y'all do, preserving American history, preserving American values, standing up for what America's really all about. So lots of emotional support for the kind of things y'all do. It's not just a club. Shelby, who's down at the business center, his family actually dates back to Jamestown.
Right.
Everybody's got family lineage, that family there?
And several of us do.
Yes,
too.
so he could trace his family back to an immigrant who came to Jamestown.
Shelby's the one I originally talked with. When
Yes,
I called
yes.
and arranged the two.
So yeah, he's excellent. He's excellent. So anyway, back to the story here. So the house was built about 20 years before, 15 years before James Monroe was born. At that point, he's got Monroe Creek back here, water access. You've got Monroe Creek goes to Monroe Bay, and you've got protected water off of the Potomac River. So you can pull the ships into what's nowadays called Colonial Beach, but was also part of Monroe's property. Pull into Monroe Bay, load up there, and sail on out. But produced here, he had apple orchards, apple and peach orchards. He had a small farm here. He could produce, put it on the creek, take that back down to the bay, and disperse it, but it was protected waterways. So great location, great place to raise kids. James Monroe is a country boy. He works on a farm. We all understand how you can get up in the morning, you milk the cow, you feed the chickens, then you do your studies. That's what he was. But he was that kid that we noticed real early on, this guy's smart. He's gonna be something. And so they had a tutor who was over at the St. Peter's Church area, and he came under his tutelage. Also, John Marshall, who wasn't from this area, was sent up here to study under that same same reverend. Probably lived with them while he was going to school there. So Monroe does well here. His father unfortunately passed away when he was 14. He moves up to Fredericksburg to be with his mother's brother, who's a Jones, who is in the court, who works in the courts up there. He travels down to Williamsburg, where his uncle from Fredericksburg is on the House of Burgess, and starts attending college at William Mary. And the story goes that he was a 17-year-old who started college maybe a little bit earlier than he was maturing, whatever. He was smart enough, but not mature enough. So it's sort of like when the governor evacuates Williamsburg, he's part of that party that invades the governor's mansion, takes the weapons, and passes it on to the militia. That's not going to keep you in college very long. So his uncle connects him with the Washingtons, from down the street, neighbors, and said, my nephew needs to be under some tutelage for a while to mature.
His tail out of a crack.
That's the one, that's the one. And so he goes up to Washington. He's a lieutenant, he's an assistant to Washington. And because he's fluent in multiple languages, he can talk to the French, he can talk to the Germans, he can talk to the folks coming in, he can connect to common people because he's a common man himself. And he builds those bridges of connection. And he's learning, meanwhile, not just how to be a soldier, but also how to be a gentleman and the value of education. And nothing like joining the military for a couple of years to make you value going back to college. And so he goes back to college where he married. He is then under Jefferson to do his tutelage, because at that point you could get your law degree just through college or also by being an apprentice. He's an apprentice under Jefferson. Jefferson's the governor. He's the attaché to military relations in Virginia. And that relationship will develop over the years that he looks at Jefferson as a father mentor figure. He actually ends up buying his home in Charlottesville across the way from Monticello. So he's got the Highlands, that's Monroe's home, and he owns part of downtown Charlottesville, which he gives to the University of Virginia to establish a campus. So if you go back to University of Virginia, there's actually a sign over there near the rotunda. This is where Monroe had his law office in Charlottesville. That's a little distracting here. Anyway, so the story here is that his father built this house. The house is a really nice house at that time. And he's not trying to entertain sea captains like the Lees. He's not trying to build a large plantation like the Madisons, etc. It's a subsistence farm. He lays to the neighbors. He's also got his relatives all around. So if Spence owns this property, then his brother owns a property over there. His aunt is married to Throckmorton, or that direction. All the old family names are here. I got them on a little map. But everybody's related to everybody, so if I go to your house this Sunday, next Sunday we'll go to her house, and then a third Sunday go to your house, and then a fourth Sunday come back to my house. This is the kind of house where family come to visit, friends come to visit, and you come in here and you can play parlor games. They can socialize, they can be with friends, whatever, and the kids can be upstairs behaving themselves while the adults are down here. And they had segregation, they had men and women separate, whatever, but you had a place together here and another room for this direction. Again, this house was designed a little fancier than most. It had a front and back door so you could pass on through the house without having to go through people's rooms. So this is the dining room.
Did President Monroe ever met Patrick Henry?
Patrick Henry and him served together at St. Paul's Church, where Patrick Henry did the Liberty of Destiny.
Okay.
So they were together.
They were together.
So, yeah, Patrick Henry is from Hanover County, Ashland.
Ashland.
Okay? But he's probably best known for his home over in Hanover. So you go to Hanover Tavern in Hanover, old Hanover Courthouse area. That's where Patrick Henry and his wife had their home across from the dinner theater for a good 20, 30 years till they had a fire too.
Okay.
So again, big double fireplace here. We have not found outhouses, we have not found all the other little barns around here. So it is very possible that food was prepared within this room. And as you know, table works fine. You got James Monroe's dad, his mom, his sister, the orphan girl who stayed with them, James Monroe, and at least one of his brothers, because one of the brothers passed away. This might work for the family. But when everyone else comes over, we need to open these tables up. Y'all have these tables at home too?
I do.
The sides open up and all of a sudden, a little sideboard becomes big enough for 6 more people. So this room, as we walk around, 4 or 5 folks will be around the table, but if we have visitors, we can open this up and we can have what they call a board, all right? Room and board. This is the board.
That's funny, because mine's half that size. You can't
Yes.
put but one wine glass on top, but the wings touch the floor.
Yes.
So it's the same width, but it's
Yeah.
a teeny bitty little thing. Heavy. Thing's heavy.
Good designs.
Got wings, got leaves.
Leaves, wings.
So how do we get all this furniture? This does relate to y'all. So we're taking care of all these possessions that are in here. These are not pieces that belong to James Monroe. They belong to old Northern Neck families who want to make sure that it goes in the right hands, because some of the kids don't appreciate what's there, okay? And I know if it comes here, y'all will take care of it, you'll put some oil on it, you'll take good care of my furniture. And that's why that one doesn't match this one, doesn't match that one, doesn't match that one. But they all are original from the 1700s of the Northern Neck.
Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. And so, you know, I would like to one day work with my quilters and my upholstery people to make the seat cushions match, but even the cushions are all a little different. People's homes. As they wear out, we're going to have to do something to fix them up. But this is Northern Neck pride.
And here I thought everybody had to bring the chair to dinner.
Load the
Different
wagon.
families.
Load the wagon. I mean, old families probably have these kind of pieces sitting around the house, but this is a collector's item. It is a gorgeous piece, and it's original.
Oh,
That's not a reproduction. This is, and I'm here probably 3 or 4 days a week. Mostly I'm out there doing stuff in the yard, but I enjoy coming in here and thinking, oh my gosh, this is, you can feel history just walking around this place. So this room over here is an extra room. Again, houses at that time didn't have extra spaces like this. And this one also has a fireplace. So if Spence Monroe is a carpenter, a cabinet maker, furniture maker and such, I don't think he really had an office space, but he had apprentices training under him. So it's very possible that while you're an apprentice, you have a place to stay and you get room and board. If you had visitors come, this is a nice little guest room to have. But to have a guest room, to have a place for the apprentices to stay versus being in a longhouse down the road, that's a real big plus. And to have its own fireplace, to have all the lights coming through here, that's really special. This cabinet, you all probably have one of these. It's a liquor cabinet. The lady of the house would have a key to it, and inside here is her sherry or glasses, preserved stuff. And when it's all closed up, it's just a nice little piece of furniture. That is a writing table, because we didn't have internet and such, we had to write notes.
That's a nice one.
It's a very nice one.
Is that an original piece? too?
This is, and I'm trying to see how to open it.
See, I don't really see the top pull.
I can't open it. But yes, there's pulls down here to support it. I'm trying to find the keys to it somewhere. There's a key here that hopefully works.
Except for the panels on it, it looks like Mama's. Same shape.
That is a
Here we go.
well done piece.
Got your cup of tea in it.
Ah, hot dog.
And it's got
So sweet.
special storage places for secret papers.
Usually one of the little drawers is a little bit shorter and you can put 3 rows of quarters behind it.
Yeah. But this is
Or the
a
key to the
really
secret
nice
stash.
piece from
Does
that
it have
time.
like 13 hiding places?
Exactly.
Is that for the gunpowder?
No, it's the,
Oh, this one, this one here.
no, that's probably for calling people to come in for supper.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But yeah, this is just a really special piece of furniture, beautifully designed. If you take a picture, this is what I take a picture of. This is a special piece.
Well,
I
we
tell
can do
you,
that.
that drawer, the top drawer is amazing. Took a lot of work to do that. Got one upstairs in the hall.
You want to stand next to it, please?
So he said, okay, sure.
Sure, absolutely, why not? Thank you.
Welcome.
And you got a stubby hole, you got a drawer, that's one picture.
It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful piece.
Picture of George.
Gorgeous front and stone.
Yes, he is. George Porgy.
Did,
That's him.
I think you dropped some money over there.
Oh, hot dog.
Oh.
Thank you. I sure did. Oh, my goodness. I'm not telling you how much it is. Yeah, thank you. Ooh, I'm telling how much I just lost. No, that's it. I know how much I had.
Okay. So when the young kids come here, I have to ask them, what is that for? And a lot of these kids have no idea what butter
Ring toss?
Exactly, you know?
Button.
So we try to work with the kids to learn about what is a butter churn, what's a spinning wheel, you know, things that were commonplace at that time that they,
I still use
It's
the
like a-
butter paddles to make butter balls, I do.
oh yeah.
I love them. It's
Because
so much fun.
upstairs is bedrooms.
Yes, I'll go with that one too.
Now you can buy butter balls in a bag, you don't have to roll them up.
So the neat thing with the staircase is Monroe built the staircase, the floating staircase, which is a pretty advanced design considering the weight balances and engineering of it. And these staircases have shallow steps, extra wide.
Yeah, paste it down.
This is one of the few places where you can go walk upstairs.
Absolutely.
Most of them don't allow you to go upstairs.
Oh,
So
it's so cute.
this is the master bedroom.
May I sit on it?
I think you can, yes. I do.
Oh, it's pretty. I'm on a photograph journey. It's so.
I think there is a wasp or
Is there a wasp in there? Oh my gosh. I'll leave it alone. Be careful, there's a wasp over there, sorry.
A wasp.
Yep, let's see. Look
Oh
at its
boy,
face.
how'd he get in? So do you tell them that's
Somehow
a bed
do.
fan, or do you tell them it's a
That's
heater?
for heat.
I know, but what do you tell the teens when they come in?
The first thing the teens comment on is how small is the bed.
It's a California
That was a
twin.
normal size bed. That was the beds they had that time.
Well, is it rope?
No, the one across the way you'll see
Yeah.
is the rope one. A
That
big
bed
plus to this one
spread.
is they had an extra room over here.
This is,
Camel.
what did they call this? I forgot.
Wait till you see the quilted downstairs. You are
We lost Susie.
These are like
be
knots.
prepared for
Yeah.
a really
She's in there with a
She's a
quilter.
quilter, so we lost.
So how old is this bed sheet? It's from
this
like
could be
1800s?
1800s probably.
Oh.
So a lot of houses would not have had an extra room for a dressing room, for storing clothes. This house had the extra space. That's a big plus for the 1750s.
Now, two people slept on here? You said this
Yes,
was a master
this was the
bed?
master bed. This is pretty here because
No wonder
James
they have so
Monroe,
many babies.
James Monroe lost his younger brother, so keep a bed for him in here. We know that this area was affected by tuberculosis. Augustus Washington got TB. We know that there was typhus up here. And just as in today, we still had influenza and childhood illnesses coming through. So death from labor and delivery, childhood illnesses was fairly prevalent back at that time. And in my research, there was a doctor on the Maryland side, there was a doctor in Tappahannock, and there may have been a doctor somewhere down toward Burgess. But doctor service was very minimal up here. If you got sick, you took care of each other. And say, Spence Monroe dies in his 40s. His father died in his 40s. His great grandfather lived to be almost 90. So
So Dr. Hubbard got all his property.
yes, that's how it
Well,
happened.
set your leg, but I need an acre down there by the water and a couple chickens.
I live on Clark Road. Dr. Clark got that property
Yeah.
in exchange for all his work.
Exactly.
And I get that from the Humleys. The Humleys tell the story of their family. Robert teaches me a lot. So, this is the old-fashioned bed from that time. It would have had pegs all around here, and ropes going back and forth, and you tighten it up so you can sleep tight at night.
Sleep tight.
Sleep tight.
That's it,
Tighten
sleep
up the
tight.
ropes.
And don't let the bed bugs bite.
That's it. So this room would have had Spencer's older sister, the orphan girl, James Monroe, and at least one of his brothers staying in this room until he's 14 years old, till the girls are probably in the 16, 17 age frame. But at that time, you could take a bed, the trundle bed on, in the space for everybody in one room, pack it up in the daytime, and you got a nice little window for the kids to do their homework. You got a little play area for the kids up here.
You're on fire.
And again, on fireplace.
And the landing.
And there's
Yeah,
It
another
should be like
wasp
Rocky
in
Horse
the
and Toys
floor.
out here or something.
Exactly. Well, if you, somebody donates
Does he
something,
live
we'll
in
put it
or
on
dead?
property.
Okay.
Dead. There's another wasp.
But he's dead.
Okay, well, we need to spray this place. That's an ongoing problem. I'm working on poison ivy and briars. But ivy I gotta work on too. We'll get to that. So this was the kids' room. That was the parents' room. And again, all this furniture stuff that gets donated by families. This bed does not.
Missing the finials, but it's so pretty.
It's a beautiful piece of furniture, but I can't fit it in here without blocking the doorway. So it was donated. I gotta say thank you, but I'm not sure what to do with it, honestly. That's one of the issues to deal with. We're thinking if I can turn it around 90 degrees, I might be able to fit it between those two and put it in the middle of the room. That's
How
the
much
progress.
taller are the finials?
Well, you put boards across the top for the
Oh,
canopy.
for the canopy.
Canopy.
Exactly.
And
So
it,
it's not
it goes up
necessarily-
another 6 inches, and that's the ceiling. So maybe if I spin it around,
Maybe.
strap it together, put a cardboard box on it instead of putting a mattress on it for the weight, I could drape some of the beautiful quilts across it.
This has
And
been added.
yeah, these were added on before I got here, okay?
Yes, that's right. I
Somebody
just took a
added those
picture.
on.
Yes, and I want it on my bed because having the bed here, the bed is this tall.
Right,
That's
so
right.
dropping the mattress or
Yes,
box springs
yes,
down in
yes,
there,
yes,
put your mattress at a normal height.
Yes, yes.
They won't break, they
Thank you,
fall
sir.
off the.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a safe trip.
You too.
And don't forget to check out his home up in Charlottesville too.
Sure.
He lost Susie too.
Susie, I know the quilt got me.
Together. And there's actually a bolt that comes through here. So you do these cranks to bolt the stuff together. So you turn this bit around, you got to undo 4 bolts on your hand in each corner.
I know,
Thank you, Rita.
You're very welcome.
I'm just